Hey, all right. So I got a response after I emailed my controller from the ATF Saturday, and I just got a response first thing in the morning. Nice lady. She explained that there's really no protocol for expediting, regardless any error at all, and if it gets disapproved, that's it for e-forms. It's not like paper where they give you a grace period. And she said I did pull up your new submission, and this photo does look good, so that's positive. But she said you're going to have to call the customer service number and request a supervisor. But she said there's really no recourse because the only people they even consider expediting are for law enforcement officers and guys in the military that are getting sent out. So I called, got right through, no wait. Got a nice lady on the phone. I explained the situation, and I don't know if she was a supervisor. I believe she was a customer service, person. Uh, but essentially, she said there's no recourse for this. Unfortunately, there's no way to expedite any error submitted. And I said, it doesn't matter that friggin' it's not my fault. It's Volusia Top Gun submitting horrible photos that don't meet the basic passport photo requirements. I mean, she even felt bad for me. She said, "Yeah, I'm very sorry, but there's nothing they can do. They will not expedite." So basically, I start at the back of the beginning of the line, and I said, "Well, that's unfortunate. So I have to wait another 7, 8 months." She said, "Well, hopefully not that long. We are starting. They are starting to. The e forms are slowing down a bit, but there's no guarantee of how long it's going to take." And then I said, "Well, is there a way to document my prior form information on the new form so at least the brand new examiner is aware that the first one was rejected over the photograph issue?" And they said, "Oh, the moment we pull up your name, we have all your form information. So whoever that gets assigned to, whenever that is, probably in 6 days, 7 months, will be fully aware." Now, at least my first examiner, she said, "I did look at your new photo they submitted, and it's good to go." So, I mean, there's that, I guess. This is not the ATF. This is not the ATF being. I mean, I get it. The protocols and the way it happens is frustrating, but this lies solely on the shoulders of Volusia Top Gun and the people that submitted horrible photographs that didn't meet the basic requirements. Period. When I was there at the store, they go, "ATF this, ATF that." I was like, "Well, no, you guys didn't follow the basic protocols. How is that the ATF's fault? You sent in a Jackson Pollock painting, not a clear photograph. Of course they're gonna fucking reject it. But no one wants to own it. No one wants to take responsibility." And Volusia Top Gun has lost my business for life. I will. I don't care if they sell cacks at half off price. Well, maybe then. But I'm just, it's like this was completely avoidable if they had just followed basic. And they're still not following protocols for pictures. I had to beg them to create a background. They don't have something ready to go for that. The multi-million-dollar place can't afford a few $100 for a decent pull-down screen so that the photographs they submit for NFA items aren't in question. I don't get it. I'm still pissed at it. There's nothing I can do. And I'm going to have to wait another 7, 8 months, and hopefully it gets approved then. Period. The end. On the flip side of that, I kept hearing from a lot of dudes about that D2. They saying it's not the best option. If I were you, I would cancel that and go with something different. And then I spoke to Edmund, and we're talking to him about different tubes that he offers with Knights Armament housings and high FOM this and 24 UM that, and we're going back and forth. Not really a great guy. So I canceled the D2. I feel bad because I immediately got the response from Gooning Gear saying we went ahead and canceled your order. Ordinarily, there's a cancellation fee because we get charged for the credit card processing. Because it's your first order with us, we went ahead and took care of that. But in the future, please be mindful. And I felt terrible. In my mind, it's like if it hasn't shipped yet, it hasn't been ran. So I feel bad about that. But the D2 had some positive aspects, but overall, I heard from too many people that I trust know what they're talking about, and said you really can do. it's just too big and bulky, and the ergonomics aren't really there. And after talking to Edmund about going with a higher quality tube, I just decided that canceling the D2 right now is probably for the best. He said maybe you can go with a Kiji. You don't even have to get a laser right away. I know that new EOTech OGL launches in January, which is using similar tech that the Mall is. Scott and I were talking about that. And he said if that thing is 80% of a Mall running similar tech when that drops, $12.99 for civilian power, $15.99 for full power, that's going to be a game changer. And possibly kill the resale values. It's going to plummet on malls if that's the case. I don't know. So there's that to consider. One guy at the gun store at the Top Gun Fallujah, he was telling me, he goes, I have two malls, but I just picked up one of those Somo Gear airsoft grade ones that Brass Facts did a video on. And he said, this thing works, man. You know, it runs. I've been beating the hell out of it. And it's not going to be anywhere near as good or powerful. But you say, if you want to save some money right now and focus on a better tube, this is a viable temporary solution for you. He was a nice guy. Big, burly, muscle dude. I think he's a fucking ex-law enforcement or current law enforcement. I don't know. Maybe I could just run a Kiji and focus the beam nice and tight and forego a laser at first and see what that EOTech OGL offers in January if it drops then. So, I mean, I'm going to check out the offerings from Steel's drop. I messaged Edmund and said, I appreciate all your time last night. And we're on the phone for like 2 hours talking about all things NV related. It's a bit of a mind bender trying to figure all this stuff out when you're first trying to understand it. But I said, let me see what they offer, you know, because the budget is still a concern. And then go from there. So I'm glad I met Edmund. Awesome dude. Pissed about my can. Nothing I can do. I mean, I can try calling back. One thing I didn't do is my controller lady there said ask for a supervisor. I didn't do that. I just dealt with the customer service. I may wait a bit and call back later today and say, hi, I know I called, but is there any way I could at least speak to a supervisor and plead my case one last time? Maybe they'll take pity on me. You know. Anyway, enjoy your week. I'll let you know what happens, man. I don't know. Peace.